What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Navon McNeil, out here with another video. Today, you guys pretty much know what's gonna happen if you watched my last video. We're fixing a few little issues with my Harley Benton MS-60. So I'm gonna go a little bit in depth for those of you who missed my last video. This is this mic stand is in the way. Hold on. All right, and this is a Harley Benton MS-60. Yay! I purchased this from one Ryan Burke of 60 Cycle Hum. And this is basically how I got it, minus the fact that I broke a string and I took out a tuner to measure something. And today we're going to be doing some light upgrades. There's two problems with this guitar. One is this bridge is poopy butthole. It's like the stinkiest butthole bridge I've ever encountered in my life, which is not Ryan's fault. He did try to replace it, and he did fail replacing it. So now I'm gonna actually replace it with the bridge that I'm gonna replace it with. So I have some parts. I don't have them nearby. You will see them later. But I bought a Chinese roller bridge called Acacia bridge. I don't know if that's a well-known brand. It was just on Amazon. No one ever tells you what roller bridge to get. They just say get a roller bridge. So I've purchased it. And then I got some hip shot tuners, which I can do without drilling. So I'm excited to put this together. I figured we'll start with this because this guitar has already seen YouTube. So if we start our YouTube guitar modding with a guitar that's already well known on YouTube, we can kind of, you know, use that to our advantage a little bit. And also, you know, for all the fans of 60 Cycle Hum that wanted to know what happened to this guitar, he did say in the emails when I was buying it that he did originally intend to give this away to somebody, but I just paid him the right price to take it from his hands. So, yeah, this also should serve as a video to let you guys know that Ryan Burke will sell his guitars as long as you pay him enough money. So let me kind of talk you guys through what's happened to this guitar as it stands right now. So as this guitar stands right now, Ryan did a whole lot to it. He relicked it. I'm gonna try to get some B-roll of the relic at least. He relicked it. He chipped it up, beat it up. He spray painted this nice, it's like an orange to pink stripe on it that's like starting to wear apart, and I love it. Whoops. He replaced the pick guard, which you may notice this is different than the one that he ever shows in any of his videos. That's because you'll see. He replaced the pick guard. He put this knob on. He changed these knobs out. I think this is an original knurled knob down there. And then he put like a Les Paul style knob here. And then he put like a coil cut for the hot rail that's in there. Along with that, he pinched the end of this Jaguar whammy tremolo bar holder. Luckily, not luckily, what am I saying? Okay. He pinched the end of this tremolo bar holder so that the tremolo stays in place, which is the first time I've ever heard of that happening, and I'm going to do that to my vintage modified Jag. So I'm excited about that. But as far as stuff that I've done to it, I've done nothing. Actually, that's a lie. I cut this pick guard. So the day I got it, I ran the Goodwill, and I bought this album for $2, this vinyl. And I cut it into the shape that I made up. It's basically like a double-sided Mustang guard. So I've taken, also I want to say I kind of don't like this hump that I cut here, but we're leaving it because this guitar is supposed to be a little bit jank. I've nicknamed this guitar the Humstang in honor of 60 Cycle Hum. So like I said, today we're going to be putting a roller bridge on, some hip shot tuners. We're going to help the fretboard a little bit and put some new strings on, and hopefully she'll be ready to go. And I'll kind of give you guys like a tone test at the end, and we'll call it a video. What do you guys say about that? And before we get to the actual guitar modding, let me show you guys. I showed this in the last video, but if I'm going to have a dedicated video for this guitar, I should show it again. Give me one moment. Okay, this is the original pick guard that went on this, that Ryan sent me. Yay. Boom. It went here, like that. So if you check his videos and you're like, wow, this guy's just making up that he bought this guitar and he just spray painted a stripe. One, you can see that his wear pattern right here is exactly the same as this guitar because this is the same guitar. Two, I have the pick guard. And three, I had him sign the pick guard. So, yeah. It just says, thank you, Navon. Have fun and stay grounded. Ryan Burke. So, yeah. So this is, I usually have this on display, by the way. In case Ryan is watching. This hangs on my wall forever. This it was the highlight of 2020 for me, this guitar. I'm still, like, starstruck that I own this, by the way. It's, like, still slowly getting to me. But here we are. So, yeah. Let's get to my workbench, which is totally not the top of my dresser in my bedroom. It's definitely not what it is. I promise it's not that. So let's get there. Let's do a fun transition. I hope that was fun. Alright, everybody. Welcome to my dresser. I mean, my workshop. My cat is meowing. Hold on. Maya, what do you have to say for yourself, buddy? Just meow? Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, welcome to my dresser. I mean workshop. That was a pre-planned joke, everybody. You guys get that? But tis. All right. So we've got the Humstang raring and ready to go. You can see it in all of its beautiful glory in the Dione Warwick vinyl that I've stuck on there. And we're gonna start with the bridge because we're here. So this is the bridge that we got. It's a Cache bridge. Again, I'm not sure if this is like a name brand or anything, but it was a roller bridge on Amazon, so it wasn't like I was really searching for name brands. So I'm gonna start by popping this bad boy open. Oh, I should probably address that. Yeah, I probably should change the nut. The nut's not super pretty, but it could be worse. Maya, hey buddy, we're not meowing right now, okay? Yeah, we're done meowing, okay? So we're gonna start by removing the strings. A lot of people remove strings in very different ways, all over YouTube and whatnot. And my philosophy has always been, unless you're like strapped for strings, which you shouldn't be, you should just be replacing the strings anytime you gotta take the strings off anyways. So we've got some, I usually run Ernie Ball Slinkies 10s, and I've actually been switching to 9s slowly. But today we're going insane, and I decided to buy some Diodarios because I figured it was worth a try to switch brands because I've been using Slinkies or Ernie Balls since day one. So we're gonna stick those on when we're done. Here's the bridge itself. It definitely is rolling. Looks to be the right size. Boom. And then the bridge posts. I'm kind of hoping that we can just drop it onto these posts and not have any consequences, which is, you know, it's hopeful to say the least, but you know, it's worth a shot to hope that. To remove strings, I usually like to just relieve some tension on them and then just give them a snip, a snipper-doodle, you know, cut these bad boys straight off. This is definitely not a tutorial on how to guitar. I'm sure there's better ways to do all of this than what I'm doing. A lot of people cringe at the fact that people cut strings off like that, but it's just like a million times easier, and it's literally not going to do anything to the guitar. Guitars are fickle creatures, but they're not that fickle. Yeah, this is a weird tripod angle I got going on. Hi, cat. Alright, so now here's the moment of truth. Does this bridge just fit on there? Because if it does, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be a happy, 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 happy boy. Even looks like it was kind of intonated a little bit. Look. My cat is freaking out on the bed. She's playing with the guitar pick. Let's yank this bridge off. Good yank. This is the Harley Benton bridge. anyone was wondering what one of these suckers looks like, this is what they look like. Just like a cheapo bridge. It's actually not that bad of a bridge. Like if this was hardtail, I wouldn't have, whoops. Sorry. If this was hardtail, I wouldn't have any problems with this. It's just the fact that it has the Jaguar style trim on it. So immediately, like that's what caused the string to break, was the Jaguar style trim. So, and for completion, the back of this case bridge says BM003. I'm assuming that stands for Bowel Movements 3. And we're gonna stick this puppy on like such. Hopefully she just fits and I don't have to cry. But maybe I'll have to cry, we'll see. Oh, so close. This video is sponsored by Rusty Pliers. These are pliers my grandma bought in the 90s and gave to me. So, everyone say thank you to Rusty Pliers. There's post. Here's new posts. Oops. Here's the new posts. And so we've got an entirely different threaded post here. So we don't get to reuse the bushings that are in there, which I really wanted to do. But just to make sure I'm not crazy, we're gonna try it anyways, just cause. And they just fit. They're kind of wiggly, but I think that they're supposed to be a little bit wiggly. Yeah. Okay, let's run those all the way down. So that did fit, which makes me a lucky boy. Oops. Hopefully the lengths are the same. Let's hold them up. They look to be about the same. It just seems like the holes were a bit different. So let's grab the other bushing. Okay, so we got the second post in. Let's give this bridge a second try. Hopefully she lines up because I don't want to have to cry. Oh man, just line up for me. Just give me the beans. Just give it to me straight, Doc. Just give it to me straight. All right, after some finagling, we've got the bridge in. Yay! So bridge is on. Rolls, nice. So if you're out there watching me in the comments, just desecrate YouTuber's prized possession. Just know that I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying my hardest. So this bridge was on like that. So I've put this bridge on like that. Should make getting to these much easier. I don't think it actually matters if you flip them around, as long as you can access the screws to adjust it. So we've got this nice and pretty on prim and proper. So we're gonna let that sit there, and we're gonna move up to the headstock so we can do the tuners. So we're gonna flip this bad boy around. So we are doing these, we're putting these hip shot tuners on. These are the 6-in-line grip lock open chrome non-staggered. Non-staggered. I thought these were supposed to be staggered. Hold on. I very specifically ordered the staggered ones. So let me find out. This kit comes with a lot. It comes with little bushings or ferrules, whatever they want to call them. It comes with the ability to screw it in. It comes with all the screws that you'd need. It comes with these mounting plates, which are really cool. Basically, this means I don't have to drill anything into this guitar whatsoever. And then, it doesn't come with any tuners, actually. So, it's actually, they're ghost tuners. I joke. These are the tuners. They're like open gear. They're really cool. These will be my first pair of locking tuners. I purchased these bad boys off of Amazon. Okay. Well, don't I feel like a big tuckus? Alright, well, I'll let you guys know. I thought I bought the staggered ones. Turns out I didn't buy the staggered ones, so we get to keep the string trees, which should be okay. I don't trust these trees, so we may get a video or like a YouTube short or something. I don't know. I'll probably change these out for roller trees, but we're here now. We're recording this now, so I'm gonna do what I can now. So let's remove these tuners. I already took one off, and then we'll go from there. And actually, so these tuners actually aren't all that bad on the Harley Benton. I did use them for a little bit. The tops are a little sharp, weirdly enough, but they hold tune pretty well, and they weren't that bad when I tuned them. So do with that what you will. I think if this guitar was hardtail and I never used the trem, it would be great. But the first thing I did was pick it up and immediately wang the trem as hard as I possibly could, which resulted in a broken string. Which is why when we started this video, she was a 5-stringer. If you buy the staggered hip shots, you don't have to put any string trees on because of how they're set up. I don't know exactly how it works, but it just requires no string trees. So do what you will with that information. I bought the 10 mil sized tuners. So if you're doing this at home, you know which ones to buy. And if they don't fit for me, you know which ones not to buy. Because Hipshot does 2 sizes. They do the vintage style, which is the 8.5 millimeter, and then they do this 10 millimeter style, which most guitars that are new on the market today are going to be the 10 mil unless you're buying something boutique. If you're buying something boutique, you're not changing out the tuners because you bought something boutique. If I ever buy like a over $1,000 guitar and I have to change the tuners, I'd probably be livid. Which is why I stay in the $300 range, because I love $300 guitars. They make me happy. Right. These tuners are in here pretty tight too. I had to get the original one out. I had to like hit it with a hammer, which I didn't hit the headstock. I promise, it's just the tuner. I probably shouldn't have told you guys that, because now I'm gonna get flamed in the comments. Why don't you hit it with a hammer? You're supposed to use the StewMac tuner remover. Let me get these out real quick. I will be back when these are out. Alright, now we have a tunerless Harley Benton. I just took the side of my pliers right here. These are not pliers, these are wire cutters. I just took the side of my wire cutters and just pressed it against the tuners until they came out, and we're golden. So pretty easy, pretty smooth. Let's stick these new puppies on. I am really interested in this non-screwing, there's no drilling tuners, so we're gonna put those on. Yeah, basically what you do is you chuck the old plates on. We don't have to worry about that because I bought the wrong tuners. We stick them in the plates, and then we just kind of tighten the washers once we get everything lined up, and that's pretty much it. Don't over tighten. So there you go. And how I'm gonna do this is I'm actually going to yeet the tuner in first into that little hole first. That's the center of the screen. We did it. Alright, I'm gonna yeet these into here first so that it holds the plate down at least. Something like that. I'm gonna have to push the tuner in a little bit more in a second. I'm gonna do the same one for this. Hello, cat. Yeah, hello, buddy. She's back, everyone. Cat's back. Alright, something like that. Alright, so now I'm gonna push these tuners in. We're gonna get all the bushing started. I'm gonna do that without you guys seeing because it's gonna be difficult to flip it back and forth. So give me a second. I'm gonna do all the things I just said. Okay. Now I have installed the tuners. I actually didn't put the bushing barrel washers on yet. I'm going to. You guys are gonna. My cat. What? Okay, so I have the tuners installed. Cat interrupted me. I apologize. No, okay, not installed. They're pushed in. I pushed them in the back. They're holding pretty tightly. Looking pretty nice. Pretty smooth. Pretty crispy. Pretty creamy. Pretty beautiful. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. And we are going to go and put in the old nuts. They call them nuts in the manual, but they're kind of like bushing kind of weird things. And basically, let me show you how those suckers go in. We just take one nut, one washer, and we smoosh them together, have them make crispy, delicious love to each other. And there we go. So let's flip her over and stick this bad boy in. And we just want to finger tight for now so that we can check the alignment of everything and then really tighten it in a second. And that's all you need to do. I don't need to drill any extra screw holes. I could. They did provide the screws for it, but I'm not a crack addict, so I'm gonna, do this obviously. I'm just gonna make sure that the tuners are looking pretty straight, which they look pretty good to me. They actually don't look like they have much movement to them at all. Harley Benton makes these tolerances tight on the tuner holes, so, which is good. Always nice to have tight tolerances rather than having loose tolerances. A loose tuner hole is something no one wants. Now I have the nuts all tightened in by hand, which is fantastic, and I'm going to take it off the bench, make sure everything is nice and straight, tighten all the nuts, and then we get to condition the fretboard. The frets are a little sharp, but I don't want to deal with that today. We will deal with that maybe in the future, maybe on the same day that we do the string trees. We'll see. String trees should be easy. I shouldn't have to take the strings off to do that. So I will be back when this is tight. So I have tightened the tuners down, and I made sure to use the same little mini socket wrench, because with a socket wrench this small, you can't really over tighten much of anything. So just to make sure that those were nice and tight. Alright, so now we get to move our attention to the fretboard. Whoopsie. So this fretboard has, I don't know if Ryan ever conditioned it, but it's dry. It's drier than the Sahara Desert. So we're going to condition it. And here's what Navan uses to condition. Hold on, let me get it shaken. Okay. I've been using this Howard Feed and Wax wood polish and conditioner, and it's like beeswax and orange oil. This is like Burt's Bees for fretboards, which, okay, it's not really like Burt's Bees. There is a genuine, like, a better version, a better product to use than this. But I saw some guy on YouTube like 5 years ago using this, and he seemed to be having a great time, so I bought it. I hear that the Crimson Guitars fretboard conditioners and stuff and rejuvenator are really, really good. So if you're looking for one to try out, I would try Crimson Guitars before you try this one. I'm mostly using this one because I have a crap ton of this bottle left, and I've been using this for years, and it makes all my fretboards look nice enough. It's makes the fretboard nice. If you don't, condition the fretboard every time you change strings, start, because it's just a good habit to have, and it'll keep your fretboards looking nice. I'm also going to grab some steel wool and polish up the frets just a tiny bit, nothing crazy. Like, we've got some spots up here, and just make them look a little bit shinier. Nuts looking a little crispy up there, but we're going to leave that as is for now, and hopefully this bad boy will get playable. And then once I string her up, this will be my first time stringing up a guitar with locking tuners. This will be my first time stringing up a guitar with locking tuners. So I'm excited to see how this goes. So let's move on to the polishing, and then I'll eat some fret stuff on there. I'll be right back. So polishing frets is really easy, and I actually didn't realize this until recently. Just go to your local, like, Walmart or hardware store or wherever you want to go, pick up some steel wool, pick up some steel wool, and we just go to town. If this was like a more expensive guitar, I would put painter's tape on the fretboard, but the whole aesthetic of this guitar is supposed to be like fucked up, so We're keeping it. We're going with it. Those frets look much more better. More better. And I'm just gonna run a quick paper towel over the whole shebang and Shibuya. Actually, I'm gonna run this moist rag that we had from earlier over it. And this is just gonna get rid of any of the excess steel wool. Nothing crazy. We don't need to go ham on it. This will just kind of make sure there's nothing on there. And now here comes the fun part. We get to take Howard's Goop, guitar sauce, and we just pour it on there. Try not to pour a whole bunch, but pour some. If you are using the Howard sauce is pretty good. Make sure your guitar fretboard smell like oranges. Try not to get any on the back because it'll make you not happy like I just did. And then we just kind of take my fingers. You have to come over my house and use my fingers actually, so it's kind of inconvenient, but we're gonna put some up there just in case. But I'm just gonna take your fingers. I'll take your fingers, my fingers, everyone's fingers. I'm wiping my hand on this towel because I don't want my fingers anywhere. And you just slather it on, you know. And it smells fantastic. It does smell like beeswax and orange oil. And now here comes the fun part. We get to wait for 15 minutes. Yay! Everybody, applaud, applaud. Woo, woo! So while we're waiting for 15 minutes, let's have a word from our sponsor. Nobody. Subscribe. I'm trying to get at least 10 subscribers by the end of the year. And if I do have 10 subscribers by the end of the year, I'll eat a cookie. That's the end of the announcement. Okay. It has been 15 whole entire minutes since I put this Feed and Wax wood polish and conditioner on. So now we're going to go through and give her a wipe. So you can see some of it started kind of seeping into the fretboard, but we still want to be able to wipe most of it off, which is good. So just give that a quick little wipe-a-roni. This fretboard is nice and dark in color now. And then you want to go through with a paper towel and just kind of buff it out. Nothing crazy. Just want to get all of the feed and wax off. Or as much as possible. Like I said, it will seep into the wood. The wood will accept it as its home. So you can kind of let it go for a little bit if you want. But this polish is great. I stuck a little bit up here just to make sure. Sometimes they don't lacquer that stuff up there, so just wanted to be sure. So we can take a gander at that. Look at that. So it's a little wet. It'll kind of dry out over time, which is what we want. So it'll look better when it gets more dry, because I think I got a little bit more wax in here than I wanted, or feed and wax. It's not really wax, but you know, the feed and wax. So I let it sit for a little too long. So maybe cut it down to 10 minutes instead of 15, but still, it's better than nothing. So I'm gonna get some strings, and we're gonna string this bad boy up. Welcome to my band room. As you can see here, I have a nice, beautiful psychedelic tapestry, courtesy of Emma. She's a lovely lady. And I don't know why I said it like that. She's my girlfriend. Of course she's lovely, guys. Don't stop. Stop. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys what it sounds like. I got her properly strung up. Turns out locking tuners are really easy to string, and it makes me want to switch all of my tuners to locking tuners. You just yeet it, tune it, and that's all you need to do. It's pretty fantastic. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of run through the tones. I did a light setup on it. I had to run the bridge all the way down, and then I raised the pickup a little bit because it was a little quiet. Other than that, I haven't really touched the intonation, so I apologize if the intonation is bad. I'm gonna make sure this thing is in tune real quick, and then we'll kind of hammer on it and see what happens. I'm having some issues with the high E string tuning. I don't know if it's the locking tuner's fault or if it's just because it's the high E and that's just how this thing is going. It feels like it's kind of getting caught on the string tree a little bit, so maybe we'll have to alleviate that in the future. But I'm just running some reverb through my Zoom G2. When I kick on distortion, we're going to use a whole lot of distortion pedals, so I'll kind of keep you informed what's on. Other than that, I might chuck on a chorus or two, but we're gonna get swinging. So let's just give you an open C. Just throw a little whammy in there. Seems pretty in tune. Okay, it kind of fell a little bit out of tune there. Well, that's pretty close. D was fine. E and A were just a little bit out of tune. G is fine. B is like the tiniest bit out of tune. High E is pretty okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm good. I'm good with those tunes. Okay. Okay, let's throw on a chorus and get some chorus stuff. And then I'll do the, he's put a coil tap in it. So we're going to tap them coils and get that 60 cycle hum. That sounds really wiggly. I haven't broken a string so far. It seems to be returning to tune pretty well. I'm trying to really give it the wham-ambulance, man. I'm trying to really wham it up. So far, turn off the chorus. It's a little out of tune. Let's see where we're at. Low E's dead on. A's dead on. D's dead on. G's dead on. B's a little high. And the high E is a tiny bit low. Okay. That's pretty surprising. Let's, I mean, you guys have heard this guitar before probably if you're on this channel. But let's give her some distortion. So I'm gonna kick on. I have a dark matter distortion that I basically have turned almost all the way down. So that's the dark matter distortion on. I'm gonna, man, I don't know what I want to turn on here. I have a couple distortions I have the option to touch here. Let's kick the reverb up first. I have a Tone Reaper Fuzz by Earthquake pedals, so maybe let's kick that on and see what we got. I'm gonna turn off the coil split. So the coil split is off. You may have noticed there's no neck pickup on here. I have no desire to throw a neck pickup on here. It's staying like this. Alright, let's turn the fuzz back on now that we are not coil split. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, he said, Ryan said in his video where he introduced this pickup, he said that he basically used it in a band he was in when he was younger, so I'm thinking circa late 90s, early 2000s, and he was like just throwing as much distortion as possible at it, and it takes distortion really well. I'm gonna cut on the fuzz, and then we're gonna do a Washburn soloist distortion because I think that gives a nice tone. Apologize. Okay, and for the last distortion I have, and I'm gonna kick on, is the Ibanez SM7 Smashbox. If you haven't tried out an Ibanez SM7 Smashbox, try one out. I love it with a full and glorious passion. So I'm gonna kick that on, and that's pretty much the last tone I can really get. Oh yeah, I can roll down the tone knob. I'll roll down the tone knob for you guys after this, and then I'll give you guys some clean tones and a little bit of distorted with that, and then I'm gonna kind of go wild with it, and then we'll end the video. Okay. That's me fucking. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. That was exciting. I had a fun time with that. I love this guitar. This is a great guitar. Now that I got the frets all polished up in the fretboard condition, I'm getting like no buzz. Let's turn on the reverb a little bit. I apologize for any of you surf rockers out here who thought that I was gonna do some surf. I don't know any like specific surf licks, and I don't really want to learn any, but I do appreciate the medium. I did buy a surf rockers guitar, which is exciting. But this vibe also fits. Like huge shout outs to 60 Cycle Hum, cause like without them, no one would see the weird side of guitars. They always show the weirdest, coolest guitars around. Ryan does a really good job of showcasing them in his weird way, and I love his taste, so it's nice to have this. So I've rolled down the tone, and let's check out some of just the clean reverb. That's too much roll down. Let's roll back up. Yeah, instead of a neck pickup, this guitar has You just roll down the tone. Oops. Just a little bit of the major scale for you guys. Let's throw some distortion at it real quick. I'm just gonna do the fuzz. We're not gonna mess with the Smashbox or the soloist distortion. I should probably specify the amp that I'm running through. It's kind of weird. So stick with me here. I have a Marshall DSL 40 combo amp. That's pretty much the only big boy amp I have, right? I would be running through that, but the tubes are broken. So they went out because I haven't replaced them in a long time. I ordered replacements. Sweetwater is working on it. I ordered them a couple months ago. They're on back order. It's just like the COVID thing. So those are coming. Those will be here. They were supposed to be here now, but they will be here probably later. And so instead, I'm running a Fender, one of those Fender practice amps, the Frontmans, the 15G, I think this one is. I'm running into that, and I have modified it so that it has like a guitar jack output, and I'm outputting it into the Celestian that's in the Marshall. So it actually sounds really close to the Marshall. And it's scary how close this cheap amp that I got for free sounds super close to the Marshall. And it's actually only on 2 volume. I need more volume. I'm blowing that speaker out. It's a really weird situation, but trust me, I know it's weird. I'm remedying it. I apologize. Don't murder me in the comments, please. Please, just don't murder me. Alright, so I think I've given you guys a good amount of tones through this. I don't really have much else to show. I had fun. Hope you guys had fun. Let's outro this correctly. Let me take a gander. Take a quality look. This is the Humstang. The Harley Benton Ms-60 I. Proudly owned by Navon McNeil. Again, thank you, Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum, for allowing me the opportunity to purchase this guitar. I was severely surprised when you responded to my comment. So I truly appreciate it. This has been, I'm very thankful that I have this guitar. I'm very thankful that I have all of my guitars, but this one specifically is my favorite guitar. So thank you guys for coming along with this ride. If you stuck to the end and you kind of like what you see, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. You know what? I just noticed this light's a little too cool. Hold on. We can fix this. There we go. Okay. If you stuck to the end and you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button. I have some guitar content coming. Guitars are expensive, so it's going to be slow and steady, and I can't really guarantee it's going to be at any kind of pace. But it'll be coming. I'm going to prioritize some of the gaming stuff first, because that's what I know the best. That's my bread and butter. But I will be delving into guitars. In the future, we will also be delving into cars. But cars are even more expensive than video games and guitars. So, anyways, like I said, subscribe if you want to. Like if you want to. Leave a comment. And then we'll just kind of leave it at that. Thank you all for coming here and watching me. This is my first guitar video, so be kind in the comments. if you're into like some sim racing kind of gaming stuff, you might enjoy some of my other content. If not, don't worry. You don't need to subscribe if you don't want to. So, thank you all for watching. And with that, bye bye. Okay.